Hi guys, welcome to another Computing Corner video, and this is the very video you've all been waiting for, where I set up and analyse the performances of Windows 98. And what a fun-filled video I've got planned for you today. So what we're going to look at first off is to set it all up, and have you noticed already that this looks something quite different? So you've got the heading at the top with the Windows logo, and all the steps are on the left hand side this time rather than at the bottom. It was you get to see where you are set up stage wise. Now the setup here is broken down into 5 stages, and it will usually take anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes, where we don't need that long, and you're going to see why. So let's click continue. And get Windows 98 set up. But this one, when you install Plus, it introduces 3 new games. One that was later incorporated into Windows itself, and we'll get to that later on in the video. But you also are introduced to compressed folders, which were then later incorporated into Windows ME. And you've got a game called Lose Your Marbles, and another one where you've got the light version of Golf 98. And there's another surprise coming your way as well. Let's continue setting up Windows 98. And we'll go for a custom install. This time it's not asking for your product key at the very beginning. I'm going to remove all of these so you get to see exactly what's going on. You get Outlook Express installed by default, so you don't have to install it. And you get desktop theme, you get your default desktop themes installed by default as well. You don't need Plus for it. You've also got Web TV for Windows, but that's a completely different matter altogether. I've never been able to set that up. So we'll call this one Testing 98. And Win 98 test. And we'll click on that. Now, have you noticed at this point that there are only 2 settings you can change? And that'll be the keyboard layout. That's now followed by the Belgian one split into 2, because you've then got commas, and then you've got the full stop. I don't need either of those. I come from the UK. Then also we've got the regional settings as well, which I've changed for that very same reason. And then when you click next, you then get to establish your location, which, because I've changed the settings prior, it's established it for me. Click next. We don't need a startup disk, so we'll just click cancel, and we'll now remove that disk. Now I'm going to do the second part of this off screen, so this will be the name, the product key. I'll do that off screen, and then the rest of it will come along when that's all done. But you see what's happened? The Windows 98 setup wizard now has enough information to start copying Windows 98 files to your computer. I'm going to do this bit off screen. Join me back in a bit, and I'll show you what part 3 looks like of this setup. And I'm back, and welcome to part 3 of the setup of Windows 98. Now, there is an update for this which converts your 2-digit year into a 4-year digit year. Let me try that again. There's an update for Windows 98 that converts your 2-digit year, that's what we've got here, into a 4-digit year, so it will say 2025. So let's just set this up, because I now need to find the correct time zone, which is the one that started it all. Let's click apply, and then we can continue the rest of the setup. So we've got 10 minutes left. We don't need that long. We're just setting up the programs on the start menu, and then those take care of themselves. And now we're just finishing off the system settings. So count down with me. We've got 9 minutes left to go, 8 minutes left to go. So it doesn't take that long at all. 7 minutes to go. What it says there. That 7 looks rather weird though, I have to say. Because it's bold. This little bit does take a bit of time. It won't take anywhere near 7 minutes. That I can promise you. It's just sorting out a big system file. And then I'm going to set the rest of this up off screen. So we do that. And then I've got a little surprise for you while I'm setting stuff up off screen. And then you'll get to see what that is. We're just setting this up. So this bit does take a little bit of time. It's done it. So we've got 6 minutes. Five minutes. The 5 looks a bit strange as well. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Here we go. 2 minutes. 1 minute. And here comes the icing on the cake. Because it's now going to say, when it comes up, so it says 1 minute. And then say less than a minute. Once it sorts itself out, less than a minute. And there we go. So join me back in a bit, just as I get everything set up, and I will be back with my surprise. And I'm back, and I'm pleased to announce, I'm pleased to unveil that not only did the setup of VMware Tools succeed, but there's something else I want to show you as well, just as I'm about to log in. And I'm going to unveil this in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Let's close this off. Just so you know what the score was about this, I was finally able to get some sound, even if it meant installing the sound driver separately. So if I log off, and then log back in, That'll be enough to set someone's ASMR off. Anyway, I'm happy to have done that. So I've done most of the setup off screen, but there's one critical thing I haven't done yet. Wait just a moment. There's one of the screens. This is a screensaver I've got set up by default, Windows 98. But I am going to go for the usual 3D maze, and I'm going to change that as well. Let me get rid of the full screen. And let's just change what I would do. So the wall I had as cast stone. The one thing that I've also noticed here is that it no longer reverts back, which is a relief, because it now means that I can just set it all up. Now, without further ado, I've gone to pipes, haven't I? This is the one I was after. Let's click apply, and then we can see it together. Now, this is the setup I like. One of the ones that I've used for years, and I shall continue using this setting all the while that I ever do analysis of Windows 9X, 95, 98, or ME. So just going to have a look around. I'm going to come out of that. Let's apply it. Because the next thing I wanted to do is I'm going to set up plus on screen so you get to see exactly what to expect. I wanted to have that. And then let's do the media. That's absolutely fine. That sound never gets old. But then you've also, when you have a look at this, I need to enter the product key as well, which is just, you can go away with just that. You've also got your own antivirus, which is just going to set up like that. That's done. I'm going to set this thing up so there's nothing to worry about. We're going to custom, and you've also then got compressed folders. You've then got a deluxe CD player, desktop. You've got more desktop themes, which we will have a look at after I've set everything up. You've got add-ons for disk cleanup, Golf Light, Lose Your Marbles, Maintenance Wizard, Organic Art Screensaver, Spider Solitaire, Picture It, and a virus scan, which is what you just saw there. Let's click next. And then we'll click next again. More fonts by the look of it as well. Can't wait to show you these extra themes. I'm going to stick with the one that I've got, but it doesn't mean that I can't show you what's there. I've not seen them all myself. Can't wait to look at Picture It either. There's so many things I wanted to show you, but I'll do all that once I've set everything else up. So I'm going to do this and then set what I usually would do up off screen. I've already taken care of organising the D drive stuff because Microsoft money's not included on this version of Works 4.5, although I can always look at that. We will have a look at those. And yeah, there we go. So join me back in a bit and I will take you through all those themes and many other things as well. And I'm back, and without further ado, let this fun and games begin. So what we're going to do first off is there's something I wanted to show you that was introduced into Plus, and that was the compressed folder. So what I'm going to do at this point is if I want to be able to compress anything down, what we can do is put in a compressed folder. So we'll put then, let's put old files. Another, in fact, I'm just going to call it the DMC Archives, or Darren's Corner Archived. And then we can sort that by name. And what we're going to do is those that I know that I'm not going to use, if I can add anything to it, which I might be able to, but I just double check anyway. Yeah, you could just let me copy and paste that. And then you can put that into the group. That's just something that you can look at, but then that shows up. So it now shows the size of the actual file plus what it's using on the hard drive. Let's see what happens if you untick the archive. Does that then just become a normal? No, it's still a compressed folder. So that has a look into that. And that's just basically what it does. It just makes your folder smaller. So that what we've got here, 23.5 megabytes. If you then, let's get rid of that. If you then put it into a compressed folder, you can turn $23.5 megabytes into a more manageable 141 kilobytes. And I'll leave that there for a moment just so that you get a feel as to what's going on. So moving on to the next part, we've got so much to cover. It's unreal. I just want to sort that by name. We've got Visual Basic 5 now, which we'll look at later. But I just want to have a look at all the Plus stuff that you've got. So let's have a look at a game of Spider Solitaire. Now, interestingly enough, we are looking at 4 suits straight away. And this was sorted into XP. This was, well, this game was sorted, well, I say it was sorted, it was introduced into Windows XP. That was what I was trying to find. It was introduced into Windows XP by default. Whereas with this, it comes as an extra in plus. But the next thing I wanted to look at, because you're automatically dealt with 4 suits. I struggle with 4 suits. I tend to stick with just either the 1 or the 2. So I won't go any further than that. You've seen how the virus scan works, and what it does. But there's also another thing I wanted to show you. Look at the desktop themes. So you've got your usual desktop themes, but then you've also got architecture, which is a new one. Baseball's already there. Cathy. Cityscape. I like the look of that. Corbus photography. Oh, I like the look of that one as well. I'm not going to save anything. I'm just going to show you which ones they are. That's already there. That's Doonesbury. Falling Leaves. I like the look of that one. Fashion. Nice. Foxtrot. I like the look of that one as well. Garfield. Geometry. Horror Channel, I think was already. No, that's Horror Channel. Inside the Computer is always there. Jazz. Oh, look at that. They're there. That's the one I'm working on. That's the one I've got at the moment. Mystery. Sorry, Peanuts. That's interesting. You've got Peanuts over there. You've got Garfield there. Photo disc. Nice. Rock and roll. Nice. Like the use of Times New Roman. Sci-fi, which is appropriate because you've got science there and then you've got science fiction there. Underwater, which is always there. You've got a 256 colour version of Windows 98. There's the high colour. Which I think I'll invert to that. Get rid of the icons. Let's go back to default for now. Because I'm going to do the high colour. There's the default. And that's what it looks like. So now we are showing it as Tahoma, which I think I prefer over. I prefer that to MS Sans Serif. Yeah, I definitely prefer that. Let's get rid of the archive. That's interesting. Let's have a listen to the sounds as well. Now, interestingly enough, when you look at the exit windows, this, I remember rightly, came from the beta of Windows 98. It's slower and it lasts much longer. But this is the sound you came for. But this is the sound you came for. Right, let's come out of that. So now we set everything up. I wonder what it's done to my screensaver. Gone to that. Let's put that back to the maze. Oh, look at that. All the screensavers are there as well. Let's go back to the maze though. This is my most favourite of the lot. And then we'll check the next thing, which is, if we have a look, there's a game called Lose Your Marbles. Let's turn the sound off. I know I'm boring. Now normally it's not suggested that you lose your marbles, but in this game you kind of need to. Whoops. Bear me one moment, guys. I think I've got a bit wrong. And I'm back. And this time I'm going to make sure not to adjust the size of the monitor because that's where I've gone horribly wrong. So this is what you're supposed to do, I guess, when it comes to not losing your marbles. Almost reminds me of 248. 204, 2048. You have to make sure that you lose your marbles before your opponent does. I've got a good 5 there. And I've got a good 4 there as well. A nice little combo there on my part. Wow, just what are you doing? Wonder what the score. I wonder how the scoring system works on this thing. I guess we'll have to find. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Well, oh, okay. I think I've found one. But I am running out of combinations, and I just trying to figure out what on earth, where on earth I'm supposed to go. Ah, there's something worth noting. But I think I'm. Aha! And that boinging sound means you've reached the end of the line. Wow. I can't go any further because I'm at the top. that will work. Well, chill out. Yeah. Okay, so you're now going to stop me from... Right, I think I might have lost this one. Because I literally can't go any further than what I've got. Wow. I mean, look at this. I literally can't go any further. So I think I'm just going to have to come out of that before I lose any dignity. Before I lose my sanity. I'd lose your marbles. I think I'd already lost them sort of towards the middle of that round. Right. We've got this cleanup, which we will have a look at. You can use this cleanup to free up to know that's just scanning stuff. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to see if I can. I've just freed up 10. Of course, I've got enough memory. I've got 512 megabytes of RAM. Let's look at Internet Explorer. Although I don't think you can really do much on that. Let's just have a look at something a moment. Yeah, that's what you've got there. That's your About Windows. I freed up about 10 megabytes there. Okay, so before we get too sidetracked, there's a program I wanted to show you, which was called Microsoft Binder, and there's the Office Assistants as well. Clippy, what we call him here in the UK. You can animate him as much as you want. Oh, this isn't good. Right. Let me just get rid of Binder, because that's now performed an illegal instruction, and I'll try again. That didn't bode too well. I may be a bit out of sync, I know. But this is what you've got. So a blank binder, and then you can add some files to it. So which then in that case, if you go into this, you can then go into, you can then go into adding all of that together. And then you've got the pie chart and there as well, which I'm going to just sort something out. Let's have it like that. There we go. And then we need to convert these to terabytes. There we go. That's much more like it. And then we'll have 10,000 for that. And then we'll then make that gigabytes. As such. Just going to do a little experiment. There we go. And then we'll save that. As is. And then we'll save the binder. And then when I do add some more bits to it, get rid of that one as well. When you add bits to it, that will then show up as such. OBD. So you can sort them out on its own, or you can, well, that then leaves the separate folder, that leaves the separate file alone. This shows up to 16 sheets. I'm just wondering if I can move that back in, or I'd have to. Yeah. So with that in mind, I've just suddenly remembered that Office 2000 is the last version of Office to have binder. So from this point forward, I'll just need to remind myself what I've got that set up as. Yeah. Let's just update that. Yeah, we will do that. Upgrade that. and then I put oh, of course. That's more like it. And that saves that. Next thing I wanted to look at, oh, this isn't going too well. I mean, look what's happened here. Let me just draw me back in a bit, guys, because I've got so much to look at and Windows has glitched. And I'm back. I do not have a clue as to what happened there, but at least we can now get back into what to expect from Windows 98 and the plus side of things too. So if we have a look at the maintenance wizard, that didn't work. The only thing it will let me do is scan for viruses. And then while that's sorting itself out, I'm going to have loads of files and folders. Let me just come out of that. Let's have a look at the image composer. This is what we're looking at. It almost reminds me of Paint, but there are a few bits you can do with that. I mean, look at this. And then you've got the text as well, which if I select, you can select the fonts as well. This would be an interesting thing to go about. Even got Garamond. Let's go for Dom Casual. And then we can apply that. I'm still in blue. And the thing that you'd find that it will come along with you. It'll come along with you regardless as to what you went for. Also, you can do as many as you want. Let me change the colour of that. you can do colour tuning as well. Let's now go for a circle. Which you rendered like that. That is very interesting, and then you can just take care of that. And that's what the image composer looks like. I'm going to save it on here, make a new folder. So let's get rid of that. And then we'll be able to see if that will open in later versions of Windows, which it might do, but then I wouldn't know. I did this one in Paint, I did this one off screen, so it then saves the time and the waffle. And that's what I'm going to do with all the future versions of Windows that I look at. And I've even applied a splash of colour as well, which I have done in other ones as well. Let's get rid of what's in the recycle bin. Which was that folder that we created. And then we'll go into front page. Although, yeah, that needs the disk. You've got the screen, you've got the organic art screensaver as well. Which, what do you think of that? Let me see. If I can make that any bigger. Look at that. Now, I know what's going to happen. You're going to try and guess to see what is going to be drawing. But it gives you a different amount of pictures, different levels of pictures. And apparently that's performed an illegal instruction, so it's shut down. Let's go back to the maze. And then there's another one I want to show you in Office 97. This is what Schedule Plus was replaced by. So this has now become Outlook. And then it says, welcome to Microsoft Outlook 97. So now you'll be able to save and send messages as normal. Let's get rid of that. But then I think, yeah, you'd have to just look at that, and then you can add to the Outlook bar as well. Which is mainly, this is what this is all about, mainly Outlook. Let's come out of that. And then we'll have another look at We'll have a look at front page, because front page is now integrated into Office. And then we'll do a normal web. And that's what the home page looks like. That is really rather interesting. And then when you have a look at that, you can then just put in would help if I could spell. And then I'm just wondering, is that, yeah. So let's come out of that. That's not going to ask you to save. But at least you've now got the choices of what to do when it comes to front page. Another thing I wanted to show you as well, if we go into somewhere like Word, not only does the startup sound appear in Windows 98, but look at this and this. It also appears in Office 97. I have a funny feeling that it matches what's in the system that's installed at the time. So if I was to install this on Windows 95, that would be where it shows. And now you've got your layout. Let's go to page width, which looks massive. And that's in size 12. And you're seeing that up close. That is, yeah, there we go. That's in size 72. Let's look at size 8 with that. Yeah, that's tiny. So let's come out of that. And let's just play a usual game. But before we do that, we now have a deluxe CD player, which is what it looks like. Well, that's what it looks like. Of course, I don't have a disc. You also have Windows Media Player, which is version 6. Your online services as well. And Visio is now its own program instead of a folder and a program. So hopefully it will allow you to do some bits. Whoops. And it's nice to know that auto adjusts as you're typing, so it keeps everything into one line. I'm not going to save that either. But we will have, I say, a quick game of hearts. See how I do here. Press F2. But when I played this off screen, I actually finished in second place. So let's see what happens. Right, let's do the 4. Of course, I have to count up. I've got the Queen of Spades. Okay. That's 4. That's 8. Yeah, I've got 8 points. I'm in third place with 8 points. Let's see how I do here. I'm going to have to break hearts. But that would come in handy if you're trying to get rid of stuff. Okay, but that backfired. That's an immediate 13 points. So every heart you get gives you 13 points. Every heart you get gives you 1 point. Queen of Spades gives you 13. That may have put me in last place. No, it's kept me in third place because Michelle picked up 12 points. And I've got the Queen of Spades. Let's see how I do here. Yeah, knew you were going to do that. That's 13 points. One thing you've got to be careful about, that's 14. One thing you've got to be careful with is these computer players are rather sneaky. So if you feel like you're on the cusp of breaking a heart, they can stop you. That's 18, like what Ben's just done. So now I'm in last place because I'm on 40 points. Trying not to get any points. Not getting the Queen of Spades. I'm breaking hearts as well. So I didn't get any points, but I'm still in last place by 4 points. Okay, but let's do the 7, the 10, 5. Okay, that's 1. Don't know what that is, but yeah. Ben, stop me from shooting the moon. So now I'm in last place. So that's picked up 23 points for a total of 63. Let's just, yeah, I'm obviously going to win that hand. Right, now my jack's safe. That's 1. That's 5. That's 9. That's 12. That's safe. I've shot the moon, and I'm still in last place. And then with that in mind, we just keep on going, and then I'll get rid of the 3, do the 4. Ignore that. Tuning up application start. Well, I'm obviously going to win that hand. That's 4. That's 17. Cheeky fucker. That's 20. That's 23. That's 24. And that was 25. So if I get 12 or more points, it's game over. But I'm well and truly in last place because Michelle's on 62. So it would take a miracle for me to turn this one round. Pardon me. That's 1. I've got 1. Oh, Ben's had a bad round. Is it 19? Michelle, who's on 33? Pauline's doing well. She's only on 33 points. Someone's really broken hearts. If I get 11 or more points, it's game over. Got to try and make sure, obviously, that that doesn't happen. That's 4. That's game over. Wow. I picked up 21 points in that hand. Never mind. See what we've got there. So I'm just going to have another look at one more thing. Let's have a look at one more thing. This is Microsoft Golf. Okay. Let's try once more. No, it crashed. Okay. Well, that wasn't any good. Let's do a bit of Minesweeper while I'm thinking about it. Wow. Wow. I always tend to go for the corners. Tactics don't always pay off. Oh. Yeah, let's try that again. I'll do one more. They're mines. That's a mine as well. Never mind. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.